on my mind. I decided to get dressed up this time. Normally I come with like some jeans or some leggings. But I think this is a special occasion. I just want to say thank you, Klaus, as always. I always look forward to coming here and Klaus painting me. That's really the only reason why I came. I want to see how he paints me this time. It's always very like prophetic, I think. Like one time he did me surrounded by birds, and I was like, what the fuck is all these birds? But like now I'm a birdie, like unofficially. But yeah, so yeah, I think he's doing something, so I want to see what he sees. And then the other thing that I'm thinking about, well, first I want to say thank you to all of the poets. You have created an amazing atmosphere for me to come and share. I wrote a list of like all of you guys' names, but then I haven't had dinner and then I have 2 drinks, so that was a bit much. But I do have them. And I do thank you all so very much. I appreciate like the revolutionary plus kind of fun atmosphere that you have created, because I think we need to laugh sometimes too in the midst of all that's going on. And then lastly, when I was in my 20s, I ran into Sonia Sanchez, and I had kind of grown up looking at like her poetry, and like, so when I saw her, I thought she was gonna be all fiery and shit, and she was just like, well, here's this poem that I wrote, and she was very calm. So, said all that to say, if you know me from some fiery stuff, tonight is me being very calm. So, I don't know, I'll see how it's gonna go. Okay, and I said that was the last thing, but actually this is the last thing. My last thing. I have a serious like love-hate relationship with poetry. I think the last time I was here was the last time I was here, like in 22. I always come when Klaus calls, but I got to a place, and I don't know if it was after my dad passed or what, but poetry was my first like formal way of writing. It was how I like healed myself, how I told my story, but somewhere in there I fell out of love with it. I hated it almost. Like when someone will say, oh, look at it, here's this poem that somebody did, I'm like, whatever. And I really hated it, but this time when Klaus called, I was at a place where I was very interested in finding her again and falling in love with her again. And so when I agreed to be here today, I committed to getting up writing every day so that I can fall in love with her again. And I think I did that. And so what I'm going to share with you tonight is some stuff that I've started writing since December. And it comes together in a book that is released today. There'll be a QR code if you want to order it. But it's called Dear Future Self. Okay. And it's also because I'm a little witchy, I think, a little bit. And like some stuff that I wrote came true. So I'm being super careful about what I say. Okay, so here we go. First and foremost, re-traumatizing. It would make sense if you closed yourself off to me forever. I haven't been the most faithful. Through no fault of your own, I left you for what I can admit now were fruitless pastures. When second chances were permitted, I called on you, and without question, you allowed me to lift you up and enter in without a word of repentance. I remember loving you, but with a bitter taste in my mouth, questioning your loyalty in the face of my low self-worth, because in the back of my mind, I swallowed doubts, wondering my life if we'd never met. Found ourselves entangled one with the other, as if fate is by design, as if from our initial encounter, you'd never allowed the release from our heart to pour out into your hands. Being the conduit for words to fall like wet kisses from my lips, each moment with you was an experience, the sweet escape of the weight of the world lifted from my chest. Knowing the emptiness of my belly holding nothing in, Feeling the ecstasy of a full release, we were synonymous, synchronized when you told my story with so much strength and conviction. It reignited smoldering fires and lukewarm hearts. I witnessed it. They wanted you to know you as I had, and me, the non-committal lover, didn't want to compete, didn't want to share. Considered you trifling because for me you came easy, so I turned my back, walked away. Let them have you, call you their own. But they mocked you to your face, made you a symbol for their exploits, heavy pontification but never making a point, revolving around proper execution but never making it to the point of evolution. You let them make a whore out of you. In a safe, quiet space, you confess that it's rape, but I have nothing but distaste for you now. How could you play the victim when you allow them to use you time and time again? I know the window of conception, but is that my inception? Instead of war cries, you became sure enough private entrance in between thighs. I can't stand the sight of you. Better to cut you into 12 gift-wrapped morbid pieces, take out, than to look in your face, see the betrayal in your eyes. Even now it's hard to sit before you face to face, knowing what I know. That if you are a whore, I played a role in making you so. My bottom bitch when funds were low, cooked the books, sang the melody to my hooks, dressed me up nice so that while on stage, the glistening lights danced on my face and I became a god. And then a cautionary tale. Because such moments are contagious, hard to keep up with. So it became the moments that I was chasing as opposed to the breaking free of the confining shell that my soul was encased in. I am no better than the them that I vilified. I lost sight of myself, and in so I lost sight of your worth. You are my first true love, my soul's salvation, my rebirth, my revelation. I'm sorry, poetry. Will you forgive me? A good poem. A poem is good if it sparks thoughts, full of meaning and connection. A good poem does not require work nor reflection. There is too a lesson in simple meaninglessness. A poem is good if it invokes emotion, creates movement, incites action. A good poem will make you stop dead in your tracks and wonder, breathless, a morning meditation. A poem is good if it transcends time and place. Contemporary or antebellum South, some similarities remain. A poem is good if it expresses life or even takes on a life of its own. Poems are good by nature, so I've learned. Bad poems only are those that are never read, never written, a stillbirth left to die inside the poet. Love poem number 666.
Oh, that sounds
I had loved him in the darkness from a distance.
I want to hear 666
I know. Later. Not knowing that we both had changed. Addiction had him burying his life in bottles, swimming in liquid just to keep his spirit afloat. Thin line between hopelessness and love, the latter being less. When money became king and power is twin flame, my presumed love was abandoned, then adopted by the streets. All those years, still a neglected boy who searched for shards of happiness in soiled sheets until he came in mine. A marriage of traumas. He forever united himself to me, the walking dead. I had promised him a forever, even though my heart had been scared stiff with the knapsack of broken dreams tossed over my shoulder. I ran away to him, hiding from myself, following the signs, looking to the night sky, praying that good sex and a shared residence would bring us a happily ever after. We became one, not yet forged in the fire, not gold, but blown glass, easier to break than shatter, chemically transformed by the eye of the sun. We stand apart, barefoot, walking on our love, 2 footprints in the sand.
She good, man. I like this.
another love poem of sorts. IRL. To be in love again, not withholding all the pitfalls of joy and terror that such a thing entails, would require me to trust myself, and that's what I'm most afraid of. My mind lies to me constantly, justifying my most heinous misgivings, creating rationalizations for sins that I've already passed judgment on others for. I'm so good at pretending that I don't feel, that I have haphazardly just tossed my heart over my shoulder and it's somewhere in the dark recesses of my mind. Whole time I'm standing there smiling in your face, hiding it under my shoe. My body, however, is on the other end of the spectrum, a complete pushover, giving in to whatever whim or fancy or Tom, Dick, Harry, her, no self-control, doing whatever she wants, indulging in daily pleasures, denying nothing. If it feels good, it must be good for me. And if I enjoy the taste of it in my mouth, even better. Symbiosis of mind and body, they, me, I, we become the dastardly duo, split in two but united, dangerous, psychotic a little bit. My body gets pushed to the limit, dancing on the threshold of pain and exaltation. And being good makes me bad, and the bad feels divine. Delighting in devilment, I am unhinged, unstable, unworthy. So I can't be in love again. Because love requires discipline and truth-telling, care and compromise. Love asks, what are you hiding? What is that under your shoe? And if I dare lift my foot and let the sun shine upon it, or let the rain wash away the shame, exposing it to whatever weather, come what may, well, poor thing, it's so fragile. It may just wither away. And who would I be without it? Without any more cares to give, with nothing more to hide.
You got a book?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Billy, can you turn that around? There's like a QR code. They just released today, so I don't have any copies. I think they're $15.75.
Only
It was the shimmy for me.
The shimmy. Okay. I'm thinking about, so Daniel, thank you for bringing in Audrey. There's a piece I want to do about her. And then thank you again to all the poets who were up before me, again, setting the stage and sharing your amazing talent and your words with us.
back at you.
For Nikki Giovanni, one of my favorites. She had always been a full-bodied manifestation of a poem, walking and talking, fanning the flames of revolutionary thinking. With jazz rhythms and gentle tones, she bullied dark imaginations into corners and made them call her name, sing her rhythms, dance her songs. She was a teacher above all, poetry her pedagogy, giving lessons on love, of self, of one's children, of blackness, of composing your own song to your own rhythm, of singing it always, even to the end.
There you go.
Thank you. For context, I normally, the only like structured like poetry that I've done is like haiku, so I love that. Thank you. PJ, right?
Yes.
Thank you, PJ, for those.
Well, thank you.
But this time, I was trying some, so normally I'm like blank verse or like a ballad, which I do have. But I was trying some different forms, so I tried like a golden shovel, found poems, and it's a couple other ones that I was trying. So, this I think is called an alphabet poem. So, and it's called Audrey's Challenge. Beating the master at his own game, chief among those oppression. Destroying the people and their lands from the inside, external demise hidden behind masks, fictitious truths glorifying the villain, hegemony caused the pot to melt, ingredients lost in the secret sauce, justification of injustice, killing babies while they sleep, lying through crooked teeth, murder for hire, no-knock warrants the purchase order, more blood to quench the thirst, Rome is hungry. Suppose we push back, take to ourselves the humanity of our existence. Unhinge our eyes from the smoke and mirrors, vindicate the blood that still wet their hands. Write a new tomorrow, not based on the past. Xenophobia can't exist when we tear down the borders. Youth will forget when we were defined by adjectives, and finally, Zion will be our resting place, and the master will be no more. Y'all good? I can do like a
I like the boots too, though. I didn't say something about
Thank you.
me.
Thank you.
Forgiveness. We, at my job, shout out to my coworker cousins, that's what we call ourselves, because we're more than just coworkers or friends. We practice beloved community. It's very hard. Oh, and then it's very hard. And we started the year out talking about like forgiveness, which is very hard. And so in talking about it, I wrote this, which is new for me because normally I just be like, let me go read a book or fuck it. But to start writing again was a thing. Forgiveness. Forgiving you is an act of self-love. So keep your disguised friendship, hiding loathing, jealousy, mistrust, your own self-hatred. I will not carry your weight. I will not yoke myself to your own denial of worthiness. I love myself when I am high, floating on a disc, elevated, not weighed down by what you did, your pitiful, unsuccessful ploys. I forgive you because I love me, not grounded, heavy, and buried in your shit. That's all. Then two more. My friend and boss recently wrote a book, Dr. Monique Inez Liston, said her whole name. And this is me practicing a golden shovel off of one of my favorite pieces that she wrote. It's called Not Your Magical Negro, after Monique Liston. This motherfucker gonna tell me that I was a bad bitch with a ballot, pretending like I could change the future with a box. No one knows the power she has, he said. She can choose to live and never be overcome. But I hold my breath, dying daily, counting what I've gotten. My work is my worth. Knowing all that can be taken from me in an instant, Afro-pessimistic. What does it mean for me to be Black woman free? Okay, and then this last piece is like a ballad, but it also shows a little bit of my toxic side, which is fun. It's called Georgie Porgy. You don't want me to fall in love with you. I don't want you to fall in love with me. So let's play a game of chicken. A test of wills, a game of hearts to see how close we can dance around the fault line before one of us falls in. Swimming in the hot lava of unbridled affection, surrounded by an epidemic of emotions, drowning in neurotic imaginings of long nights and easy mornings, long walks in moonlit parks and easy conversations, quick-witted comebacks, inside jokes in a secret unspoken language, all the ways I make you smile with boyish wonder. Maybe you won't admit it, but I think I remind you of Saturday morning cartoons and your favorite cereal, making the winning shot, playing kickball, being the fastest kid in your neighborhood. Now stop for a moment and wonder what would happen if you asked me to hold your insecurities in my front pocket. Let me massage the tension in your lack of trust. Go ahead and share with me your wildest dreams, pinky swear, that I'll pour them back into you like sweet oil in your ear when you lay your head in my lap. In return, I've been wondering, what would it mean if you allowed me the freedom from not having all the answers, of not being burdened by the weight of knowing and doing better? Myth of the superwoman crushed, I removed my cape, my boots, my roll at the door. Because if you can tell me what to do, then you can tell me what to do. I want to be afraid to show you my hand, but greet you with open palms anyway. What would I do if I bore my all to you, let you journey with me to my own self-discovery? Just don't call me dumb or make me feel ashamed when I admit that I am lost. I want to play this game with you, mostly because I don't know what I want right now, and I'm not entirely sure I know where I'm going. But I do know that I want someone to walk with me, and I enjoy your company. You laugh at my jokes and you share your snacks. So let's not fall in love, but let's teeter on the fault line, skate on thin ice, tempt fate. Let's go all the way to a destination unknown, avoiding the pitfalls of love as previously known and experienced. I'll go first. I dare you to not fall in love with me. It'll be fun, I promise.
It's called the friend zone.
Catherine, let's do an encore.
It's called the friend zone and it fucking sucks.
Mario, everybody. Okay, how do you say, is it titular? This is the poem, titular?
Yeah.
This is the poem for, I got big boobs, so I'm aware and conscious, overly conscious of words that have tit in it. So I just wanted to make sure I wasn't doing too much. Okay. Dear future self.
Hey, yo.
Dearest guardian spirits from the great divine, ancestors who advise from the other side for my greater good, and fifth dimensional future self sending downloads to my crown. First, thank you. Your diligence to provide guidance and insight through dreams and showers humble me. If I may count myself as one of the chosen, I am beholden to you for the advanced awareness of global catastrophes and national humiliations. You are consistent in providing foreknowledge of dastardly affiliations and backdoor conversations that confirm insights, albeit only through hindsight, and yet remain beyond my locus of control. Your attention to detail is unmatched. Being timeless, you remember that I am bound by that construct, and with a knock or a call of my name, you make sure that I awake. Can't be late for work. Your messages are mighty puzzles that I ponder and share throughout my days. Admittedly, your visits leave an essence that keeps me on pins and needles, questioning the number of sun rays that I have left to visit upon my face. I see traces of you out the corners of my eyes, an eerie but persistent reminder that you are ever present, watching, assuring, providing clues and hints. Though separated by a great divide, you all indeed are, as my papa said, just on the other side of the fence. My wish is that this prayer and supplication does not supplant our established relations, but instead provide a clearer portrait of the desires of my heart, for which you have proven the realization of such as your utmost concern. With no desire to burden you by creating more work for you with my request, as indeed I simply ask that you do less. Please refrain from showing me impending problems without pairing it with a solution. The Bible speaks of wars and rumors of wars, but when I dream of wars, what role am I to play? Joan of Arc, I pray not. Showing me the dilapidated White House with neglected tapestry hanging off the walls only makes me question if being part of the 92% was an attempt to put decolonization on pause. And the next time I bring a man to you, begging your approval at the welcome table, instead of digging deep into my ancestral roots to speak to me in Algonquian, Nada Asu, can you please just tell me plain as day, nah girl, he not for you, and let that be that. Please forgive my tone as I come to you as humble as I know how. And do not turn your face from me because of my prayer to have more transparency when you are speaking to me through dreams and downloads. Continue to be a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. With deep appreciation and gratitude in my heart, I just ask, instead of taking me to the crossroads, knowing love has not been true, and the web of my life experiences are tangled and confused, when I look to you for guidance of which path to choose, please do not leave me bereft, providing with symbols and numbers another similitude, but knowing me and my propensity to freeze, sternly just tell me, girl, go left. With much love, reverence, and appreciation, Lynette Danielle.